Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Former PetroJam General Manager arrested and charged. Former General Manager of the scandal-scarred PetroJam oil refinery, Floyd Gridley, was arrested and charged Tuesday with 8 counts of aiding and abetting obtaining money by means of false pretense. Floyd's arrest and charge come a week after former chairman of PetroJam, Dr. Percival Bahudu Singh, was slapped with charges of 12 counts of obtaining money by false pretense. According to the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, allegations are that between December 2016 and May 2018, Floyd aided and abetted Bahudu Singh in fraudulently claiming several reimbursements amount to US $73,620. MOCA stated over the period it conducted a thorough multi-jurisdictional investigation into the allegations and prepared and submitted a file to the Director of Public Prosecution, who ruled that criminal charges be filed. Floyd was interviewed in the presence of his attorney and subsequently arrested and charged. He was later offered bail and is to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday, March 17, the agency said. Hilltop Juvenile Center under quarantine after 29 COVID cases detected. The Hilltop Juvenile Correctional Center in Bamboo St. Anne has been placed under a 14-day quarantine by the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, following an outbreak of COVID-19 at the facility. On Monday, the DCS reported that there were 29 new infections at the institution. They included 14 wards and 15 staff members. The DCS has since advised that there will be no new admissions or transferred at this time, and releases will be reported to the health department. At the same time, all positive staff members have been directed to self-isolate. The DCS stated it continues to work with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and public health departments in its management of the pandemic within penal institutions. Currently, there are 16 active inmate cases and 43 staff cases in the department. 602 new COVID cases, 2 more deaths. Jamaica recorded 2 more COVID-19 related deaths and 602 new cases on Monday, according to the latest data from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The deceased are an 86-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew and an 82-year-old male from St. Mary. The 602 newly confirmed COVID-19 cases bring the total number of cases on record for the island to 31,907. There were also 118 recoveries on the day, bringing to 15,371 the number of persons who now recover from the virus in Jamaica. Of the newly confirmed cases, 333 are females and 249 are males, with sexes of 19 patients awaiting confirmation. Ages range from 1 year to 98 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 146, St. Catherine 104, Clarendon 52, St. Anne 49, Portland 43, St. James 42, Westmoreland 41, Hanover 33, Trelawney 26, St. Mary 21, Manchester 16, St. Elizabeth 16, and St. Thomas 13. There are 31 moderately ill patients and 27 critically ill patients among the 15,807 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. Over 300 cops test positive for COVID-19. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has revealed that over 300 police officers have tested positive for the coronavirus in Jamaica. But he was quick to add that during the community spread phase of the pandemic, it was inevitable for some of the law enforcers who work in the communities to contract the virus. The last time I checked, we had well over 300 active cases. The police are a part of the population. The police work within the communities, and once it gets into the community spread, then police officers are going to be affected, stated Chang. He added that members of the Jamaica Defense Force JDF, who at times work jointly with the police, are also affected by the virus, but to a lesser extent. The Army has had a few cases, but not as extensive at this point. But bear in mind that the Army is on the road supporting the police, said Chang. He was addressing members of the media in Montego Bay on Monday, shortly after receiving his first dose of the COVID vaccine. Parliamentarians over 60 years old for vaccination today. Vaccination against SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, will begin on Tuesday for cabinet members, parliamentarians, and heads of ministries, departments, and agencies of government who are 60 years and older. They joined frontline healthcare workers and members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force who are now being vaccinated against the virus, which up to now has infected more than 31,000 Jamaicans and claimed the lives of more than 490 persons locally, a release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness stated. Jamaica's COVID-19 vaccination program began on March 10 with the administration of the first doses for close to 3,000 individuals. Included in the first batch of persons to be vaccinated were former Prime Ministers P.J. Patterson and Bruce Golding, in addition to former Governor General Sir Kenneth Hall. Since then, more than 12,000 persons have been vaccinated. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reminding the public that vaccines are being administered according to the approved schedule and for the safety of all concerned is urging persons to attend vaccination sites island-wide only after they have received their appointments. Members of the public are also reminded to remain vigilant in their adherence to infection prevention and control measures of COVID-19, notably wearing your mask, maintain your physical distance from others, and frequently wash and/or sanitize hands. WHO COVAX vaccine rollout unaffected by concerns over AstraZeneca. The UN Health Agency said its global rollout of coronavirus vaccines remain unaffected even as a growing number of countries, especially in Europe, suspended use of AstraZeneca's vaccine on Monday amid concern about the blood clots in some people who receive it. The World Health Organization says the AstraZeneca vaccines for its COVAX program, which is shipping vaccines mostly to low and middle-income countries, are being produced in India and South Korea, and the suspensions have been ordered over batches made in Europe. We understand these are precautionary measures, WHO Assistant Director General Maria Angelina Simon said. I would like to say this to countries from other regions that are not Europe, that the vaccines at issue so far are from European manufacturing, not vaccines that are provided through the COVAX facility. Germany, France, Italy, and Spain joined the growing list of mostly European countries, starting with Denmark last week, that temporarily halted use of the AstraZeneca vaccine in recent days to investigate cases of blood clots that occurred after vaccination. Others include Thailand and Congo. Medical oxygen shortage to be eased later this week. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang has sought to assure the nation that the shortage of medical oxygen at hospitals should be eased later this week. In addressing members of the media in Montego Bay on Monday, shortly after receiving his first COVID vaccine dose, Chang said the shortage of medical oxygen in the medical facilities came about because suppliers were faced with the challenge of acquiring cylinders from abroad as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, he said the supplier received some of the required cylinders over the weekend gone. It is a major problem. They, the suppliers, have not had this demand on cylinders for a long time, but the company is functioning well. They are working smoothly. The shortage of cylinders, it had to do with shipment disruption coming from the Far East because of COVID-19. But we can assure the nation we are getting relief this week, said Chang. I spoke to the head of IGL, that's the gas company that produces oxygen. They had a challenge in terms of having cylinders. The factory is producing and therefore they could provide the hospitals for the pipe supply of oxygen, but they are short on cylinders, which were delayed because of COVID, he elaborated. Chang added that another supply of cylinders should arrive in the island within the next 3 weeks. So they did get a supply over the weekend. which they were allowed to clear immediately. So they should have cylinders coming out to the hospitals, and we hope we don't need it all, but they expect to get the rest in another 3 weeks, stated Chang. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.